In the tumultuous arena of Prime Minister's questions, PMQs, where political wit and strategy collide, today's session erupted into an extraordinary clash that left the House of Commons buzzing and the public reeling. Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, found himself at the center of a storm, caught in a controversy that not only shook his credibility, but also unleashed a ferocious row that dominated headlines. It began with a seemingly routine exchange. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, known for his composed demeanor and sharp retorts, stood at the dispatch box, ready to defend his government's record. Across from him, Starmer appeared confident, poised to deliver a scathing critique of the Conservative administration. What followed, however, was anything but ordinary. Starmer, armed with accusations and figures, launched into his speech, targeting policies that he claimed had failed the nation. But it was a statement about the government's handling of a specific issue, a claim meant to be the centerpiece of his argument, that would soon unravel disastrously. The Prime Minister, in response, did not just refute Starmer's allegations. He turned the tables with evidence that left the Labour leader visibly flustered. Sunak presented documents, publicly available records, and even direct quotes that contradicted Starmer's assertions. The tension in the chamber was palpable as MPs erupted into jeers and cheers, amplifying the drama. For Starmer, the situation escalated further when Sunak, with an air of calculated precision, accused him of knowingly misleading Parliament. It was a damning claim, one that cast a shadow over Starmer's integrity and leadership. As the exchange intensified, Starmer's attempts to regain control of the narrative seemed increasingly desperate. He countered with deflections, pointing to other areas where he believed the government had fallen short. Yet the Prime Minister's relentless focus on the contested statement left little room for maneuver. Starmer's allies, visibly uneasy, attempted to interject, but the uproar in the chamber made their voices barely audible. The political implications of this clash were immediate and profound. Within minutes, social media platforms were flooded with clips and commentary. Hashtags like #PMQs and #StarmerLies began trending, as supporters and critics alike dissected the heated exchange. The Labour Party issued statements attempting to clarify Starmer's position, but the damage was already done. Political analysts weighed in, describing the episode as a pivotal moment that could have long-lasting repercussions for Starmer's leadership. In the aftermath, the fallout extended beyond the walls of Parliament. News outlets dedicated extensive coverage to the incident, with panel discussions and expert opinions dominating the airwaves. For Starmer, the challenge was not just about addressing the immediate controversy, but also about repairing the trust of voters who might view this as a betrayal of integrity. The Conservative Party, on the other hand, seized the opportunity to highlight what they framed as a pattern of dishonesty and incompetence within Labour's ranks. For those watching, the spectacle of PMQs served as a stark reminder of the high stakes and ruthless nature of political leadership. Starmer's misstep, whether intentional or not, became a cautionary tale about the importance of accuracy and accountability in public discourse. The Prime Minister's decisive handling of the situation reinforced his image as a leader capable of navigating crises with confidence and authority. Meanwhile, commentators speculated about the broader implications for British politics. Some argued that the incident might deepen public cynicism about politicians, reinforcing perceptions of dishonesty and spin. Others suggested that it could galvanize Starmer's base, rallying supporters who viewed the episode as a calculated attack by the Conservatives. Either way, it was clear that the fallout from this ferocious row would reverberate for weeks, if not months, to come. In political circles, questions were raised about how Starmer's team had allowed such a blunder to occur. Was it a failure of research, a miscommunication, or a calculated risk that backfired spectacularly? The answers remained elusive, but the consequences were undeniable. For a leader aspiring to present himself as a credible alternative to the current government, this was a setback that could not be easily dismissed. As the dust settled, the Labour leader's critics within his own party began to voice their concerns more openly. Whispered doubts about his strategy and leadership style gained traction, threatening to undermine the unity Starmer had worked hard to build. The Prime Minister, by contrast, emerged from the clash with his position strengthened, at least temporarily. For Sunak, the episode was a reminder of the power of preparation and the importance of seizing opportunities. This ferocious row at PMQs was more than just a clash of personalities. It was a reflection of the broader challenges facing British politics. In an era of heightened scrutiny and instantaneous communication, the margins for error are razor-thin. For Starmer, today's events underscored the perils of political leadership in a deeply divided and often unforgiving landscape. For Sunak, it was a moment to demonstrate his resilience and command of the political battlefield. As the headlines continued to swirl, the public's reaction remained mixed. While some expressed outrage at what they perceived as Starmer's duplicity, others saw the controversy as an example of political theater at its most dramatic. What was clear, however, was that this episode had captured the nation's attention, sparking debates and discussions that would linger long after the chamber had emptied. For political historians and analysts, this ferocious row will undoubtedly be dissected as a case study in the dynamics of parliamentary debate and the intricate dance of power and perception. For Keir Starmer, it was a moment of reckoning, a test of his ability to navigate adversity and restore confidence in his leadership. And for Rishi Sunak, it was a reminder of the importance of strategy and the enduring appeal of a well-timed political counterpunch. A heated storm erupted in the political arena today as Sir Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition, found himself at the center of a fiery exchange during Prime Minister's questions, PMQs. In an atmosphere brimming with tension, Starmer faced scathing criticism and accusations of dishonesty, leaving the chamber buzzing with controversy and indignation. The incident unfolded against the backdrop of one of the most contentious PMQs in recent memory, as both sides of the political divide clashed in a battle of words that gripped the nation. It all began when Starmer launched into his critique of the government's latest policy decisions. With his usual precision, he outlined a litany of concerns, accusing the Prime Minister of failing to deliver on promises and mismanaging key areas like healthcare, education, and the economy. Starmer's tone was sharp, his words carefully chosen to highlight perceived inadequacies in the government's performance. But what appeared to be a typical political sparring match took a dramatic turn when the Prime Minister fired back with unexpected force. Rishi Sunak, never one to back down from a challenge, accused Starmer of playing fast and loose with the facts. The Prime Minister claimed that Starmer's criticisms were riddled with inaccuracies, calling into question the integrity of his arguments. But Sunak didn't stop there. In a bold move, he produced documents and statistics to challenge Starmer's claims directly, catching the opposition leader off guard. The chamber erupted into chaos as MPs from both sides of the aisle either jeered or cheered, amplifying the drama that was unfolding before their eyes. The intensity of the exchange reached its peak when Sunak alleged that Starmer had knowingly misrepresented certain data points to bolster his arguments. The accusation of deliberate dishonesty sent shockwaves through the room, leaving Starmer visibly flustered. While he attempted to rebut the claims, the Prime Minister's assertiveness and detailed counterpoints appeared to put Starmer on the defensive. The tension was palpable as the Speaker of the House struggled to maintain order amidst the uproar. Outside the chamber, reactions poured in from political analysts, party members, and the general public. Supporters of the Conservative Party lauded Sunak's performance, describing it as a masterclass in political rebuttal. They praised his ability to not only defend his administration's record, but also to put Starmer in a position of weakness. For many, it was a moment that showcased the Prime Minister's resilience and command of the parliamentary stage. On the other hand, Labour supporters rallied behind Starmer, accusing the Prime Minister of resorting to personal attacks and distraction tactics. They argued that the government's track record spoke for itself and that no amount of theatrics could overshadow the real issues facing the country. Social media platforms were flooded with comments and debates, with hashtags related to the incident trending for hours. The polarized opinions reflected the deep divisions within the country, as citizens dissected every word and gesture from the dramatic encounter. Meanwhile, political commentators highlighted the broader implications of the clash. For Starmer, The accusations of dishonesty pose a significant challenge to his credibility as a leader. In politics, trust and integrity are paramount, and any perception of dishonesty can have lasting repercussions. If the opposition leader cannot effectively counter these claims, it could weaken his standing not just within his party, but also among the electorate.